show you. So this is, we're looking at the national level, but the question is, where should I start if I want to understand my local market? And with that, I would ask Greg to use the geography filters and show to you, to the new users, or those of you who are experienced, just to remind you where to find those.
Well, we find them in the filters sheet right here at the end of the menu. Let's just go there for a second and orient ourselves to the bottom center section of filters. And what doesn't fit, depending on your screen resolution, has a little expander to see the rest of them. Largely speaking, all of each section is alphabetical. And so these are some of our choices. And you can notice right away that there are fields that you would expect to see in HMDA, like the county or the MSA or the state. Since we also blend this with census data that's curated specifically to be joined to the HMDA data, we see additional census attributes about the census tracts and so on.
So this is very helpful to define the market, because before you size it, before you begin to look for trends or to forecast volume, you have to really have a well-defined footprint. And those geography filters are excellent for that.
We can do two things. I'll show you, since we're here, let's just filter to a state. Let's go to Alabama. And then use the convenience button. We can navigate through the menu here, or we could use the convenience button to return to the sheet we came from. And we're back in the beginning of the strategy section. Let's actually drop down to lender ranking, since there's a nice map here. And now, since we've filtered on Alabama, as we can see at the top, we've got a heat map of counties in Alabama and the number of, well, we're showing originations, so it's the number of originations that's showing. The second way we can filter, though, since we went to the filter sheet for the first one, let's just use the map for the second one, and we can click on the map itself and select a county, and we see that in the breadcrumbs along the top. And now we're looking at a census tract view within the county we selected, Jefferson County. And the reason we have this great granularity is that HMDA data is reported at the census tract level.
So let's pause here for a moment and just consider what we are seeing here. So we are seeing a map on the right-hand side with the census tracts that's plotting the level of mortgage activity by originations. Those are closed loans per census tract. And then on the left-hand side, we have a table. Can you walk us through that table, Greg?
Absolutely. So the table summarizes what we're looking at in the map. And so when we started, you might have noticed that we were at the national level. But now we're looking at Jefferson County, Alabama. And, well, we're sorting on origination. So it's sort of like a leaderboard. Regions Bank, in the most recent year of the 8 years of data that we present in HMDA Vision in the premium edition, the most recent year, which we default to here, 2025, Regions Bank was #1 by a pretty wide margin, followed by United Wholesale Mortgage and so on. But we don't just see the number of originations, we also see the market share within the scope we filtered on. So Regions Bank has a pretty good chunk of that market, 7.7%. The year-over-year change, Regions Bank declined from 24, whereas UWM, America's First, they're coming on strong. The borrower shopping index, which we can talk about, and also the pull-through rate. This is one measure of marketing efficiency, ability to manage your pipeline effectively. You want this, of course, to be higher pull-through, and it's a signal to pay attention to if you have a lower pull-through rate.